Yes, your.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sterling Reece, and I'm running for Elmore County Sheriff. For those of you from up north, that's the next county over from Ada. A little bit about me. I've been a Libertarian for probably about 12 years. I was in the military. Was out here at the Idaho Army National Guard for about 9 years as a Black Hawk crew chief. So the only reason I mention that is because I think in the minds of local voters, I think it would give me a little bit more credibility. You know, I'm sure we all wish that weren't the case, but it is. So my family moved to Mountain Home in 1985. My parents were both dyed-in-the-wool Reaganites. We're all, very blue collar, and so I'm very much in touch with the culture in my town. A lot of people know me, went to high school there, So with that said, I want to tell you why I'm running. And the first reason is I believe that our sheriff, while he's not the worst person in the world, I think he's essentially a wind tunnel for the feds. He has shown that he is willing to work with the ATF, despite he a few years ago, he had Richard Mack come up, and I think he paid for him to come out. If you're not familiar who Richard Mack is, he does the Constitutional Sheriff's Peace Officers Association, and spoke a little bit. Prohibition doesn't work. He has a good message. I know the guy has some issues, but in general, when it comes to law enforcement, he's pretty good. So he pays for him to come out. Here's the message. And then not even a year later, he's working with the ATF to raid people's homes. A couple of guys who had felony complaints stemming from the Malheur County standoff. So not, these weren't like child predators or, drug dealers or anything like that. Anyway, the second reason is I believe that the positions I would take as a sheriff are inevitable. Someone is eventually going to get this middle school dance started. It's just a question of how far down into the abyss we are going to slide before someone picks up that mantle. Any of us can look at where politics is going. We're like the universe. Like we're not just coming apart in a partisan way. We are accelerating apart. And the federal government, any of them that know well enough know that they have lost control of the narrative, and it's a freaking emergency. So I think that the things that I would do as sheriff, I'll talk about that in just a second. Someone eventually is going to do this, Now, whether it comes after someone has been killed in an ATF/FBI/DEA raid remains to be seen. But so my position as sheriff would be that I am going to stand in the gap between the feds and the Idaho State Police, if it comes to that, and the citizens of Elmore County. I am not running on, I'm going to meekly just, we don't really enforce that. No. Like, if you work for the ATF, you work for the FBI, and you intend to come into Elmore County and arrest someone or jam them up for something that I believe is a natural right, you will be arrested. Okay? And, but try me. Like, this is what we're going to do. Okay? Yeah. So I intend to run a serious campaign. I'm not just going to be some edgelord shit poster posting memes about dudes with, panoramic night vision goggles and all this stuff. Like, I intend to run a serious campaign. But I think also because the incumbent is running, he is a Republican, I'm obviously realistic about my chances of winning. So in a way that makes me kind of freer to say what I want to say. Like, I don't have to worry about, well, you know, those senior citizens, I really got to appeal to them and, you know, better pull back on this messaging. No, like, I'm going to say what I mean. And when I say, you know, if you're a federal agent and you come into Elmore County thinking like, oh, you know, we're just going to raid this guy's house. No, like, you are going to be arrested. So, I think that's about all I have to say, unless anybody has some questions for me.
How would you know?
What'd you say? I want to see if you'd moved to Van County and I'll help.
Nah, I like where I'm at. So, what you got,
I
Jason?
want to ask you the same question I asked Todd.
Mhm.
Do you want the longer version or the one I had to give Todd?
What'd you ask, Todd?
How do you? I'll give you the short version. Is your campaign willing to work with the LPID to
Sure.
help them recruit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
I don't. Well, like, I don't view recruitment as even like a tertiary concern. Like, I think if you put the right messaging out, you know, I think Idaho is very fertile ground for libertarian ideas. You know, if you put the message out seriously, and you know, it just, I think there's a lot there that people could love. You know, that if you're putting out a message against resisting the feds, resisting tyranny, resisting any sort of, like, you know, if they want to do a COVID 2.0, that it's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think, you know, and that was actually the other thing I wanted to say was that, you know, if I don't win, I can at least challenge the incumbent and, you know, and at least come at him from the right and basically, you know, put him on the spot and be like, you know, because nobody in Elmore County loves the ATF or the FBI. You know, so like, okay, a few people probably do, but like, you know, but I can be the one saying, no, they're not going to do those things. Whereas he's going to be over there like, well, you know, we'll work with our federal partners and, you know, like, give him that option. Look at this guy, you know, even if he wins, people are going to be like, what's up with that? So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, the Idaho is fertile ground, and the Republicans are doing their part to add their fertilizer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and you know, and I think honestly, like, if a libertarian candidate doesn't win, they can still put ideas in people's heads that then, you know, maybe down the road, a Republican candidate can be, you know, if you could win 500 votes in Elmore County, it's at least a shot across the bow that, like, okay, like, people aren't just going for the milk toast anymore. You know, like, if a Republican came out and did everything I wanted to do, that's a win.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, exactly. You know, and I've said this for years to all these, like, Republicans. Oh, you're just going to give the election to Biden. It's like, cool. Well, our votes are up. You can have them. All you got to do is just come out boldly in support of people's rights. You know, like, it's easy. Like, dude, it's right there. Everything we're saying, you can say, but they don't want to say it. What's up?
Last question, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is quick. This
Sorry.
is even commentary, actually. Dare I suggest, so I'm looking at the 2020 results for sheriff in Elmore County.
Okay.
The winner had 1,700 votes, and the second place had 1,000, and there's 600 and 400. So it's like a very split electorate. And dare I suggest, this is the most winnable race, actually, we're about to endorse thus far.
Yeah. When I say I'm realistic about my chances, like, you know, I'm not looking at it as like shooting the moon. To me, it's more like getting a hit off a collegiate baseball player. Like, probably not going to happen, but it's not completely outside the realm of possibilities. You know, and I plan to, you know, hit up the little debates, and I think what I'm going to do is once a month I'm going to go down to the Mountain Home Public Library and I'll put it out on Facebook because that's where the people in Mountain Home are. that come down and talk to me. And just, I'll rent out a conference room for an hour once a month and just, you know, just hear people out.
Perfect.
Sorry if I
We're out of time.
Was that
Endorse it.
Oh, yeah.
Reece from Elmore County Sheriff.
Elmore County
Elmore County Sheriff.
Excuse me.
Second.
All right, is there any objection? All right. Congratulations. Just on a little side note, if you'll indulge me, something I want to really move towards is people like Sterling. That's how we're going to really grow this, is from a local level instead of trying to work a top-down approach. So we really appreciate Sterling and all our candidates stepping up.